And do you see women 45, 50 years plus single and happy as the norm?
As the norm?
Mm-hmm.
No.
No, because the things that tend to make women happy are societal and familial bonds. Okay, so you have a 2-year-old, right?
Yes.
All right, so there is a there is a trend that's been going on the last 10 years. When I was growing up, the largest cohort of single mothers were teenage mothers. But the trend is inverted now to the largest cohort of first time mothers are women in their 30s.
Mm-hmm.
And women are having babies in place of husbands. The problem is once your child hits time to graduate, you'll be 10 years away from retirement.
Yes.
All right.
I'm looking forward to that.
Okay. Okay. And,
yeah,
the house will be because you'll get to what, travel and have all that. And you have a son or a daughter.
Yeah, and the house will be paid off and all of that.
You have a son or a daughter?
A daughter.
Okay. Hope it all works for you. Hope you maintain health. But that's not what typically happens for women. Health concerns. See, I have aunts that were like you, and they talk like you, and I've witnessed a couple of them die alone, and they regret what you're talking about because all you see is upside. You don't see any downside.
Well, that's because, like I said, I never really gave any real thought to what a man could add to my life in terms of fulfillment or happiness.
Well, and that's part of the problem with the world being civilized in general. Mm-hmm. And by the time you realize what a man can bring, because to me, what it sounds to me like a man is basically sexual release and a utility. Like a man has no real value. So, and you have not dated. The longest relationship you've had has been a year.
Yes.
That's unusual. Do you have any pets?
No.
Okay. Do you have any close relationships with women?
Yes. Outside of my family?
Yes.
Yes.
Enjoy. That's what I'm saying. You sound like one of these women is going to be a modern golden girl. But see, at your age, you still remember your 20s. Mm-hmm. I want to check in about 5 years from now when things really tip and your child is 2 right now. Yeah, see, right now your child is still in a cute phase.
Yeah, she's very cute.
Yeah. But see, when that child gets the personality of their own, and then her father is where?
I have no idea.
Right.
He's not in the picture at all.
When she starts, and that's why. Why
don't I try to look for him?
Yes.
Well, if he knows where I live, I mean,
okay.
He has my number.
Okay. So here we go, folks. This is how the cycle is. Single mother gives birth to another single mother who has a daughter and going to repeat the cycle over and over again, and good. But your mother didn't teach you that a man was valuable, and you're basically, I make enough money and I'm fine. I can't wait till retirement. But your daughter is going to have something you didn't have. She's going to have the internet and a lot more information. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to tell you something, ma'am. When your daughter, because that's her father, that's your man. That's the difference. You don't know where he is? I don't care if you know where he is based on you. Your child should know where her father is. They should have some sort of relationship. Because more likely than not, he don't want to be around. Did he say he didn't want to have a child?
Yes.
So why does he have a child?
Oh, not until after I had my child did I find out that my child is his 5th child and I'm baby mama number 4.
No. When you were pregnant, when he found out you were pregnant, did he say he wanted another child?
No, he told me to terminate.
Thank you. So you chose to have the child. So, ma'am, due respect, I'm just going to go there.
Okay.
You said you didn't use a condom.
Right.
That's on you. You chose to make a baby. And you chose to deal with a man who was impregnating 1, 2, 3, 4. This is why I say the majority of kids in black.
I didn't know.
Excuse me, ma'am. That's bullshit. I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear that.
Seriously,
No. You didn't do your homework. You didn't do your homework.
Well,
you didn't do your homework. You didn't do your homework. You didn't do your homework. You didn't do your home. You didn't do your homework.
It gets better.
You didn't do your homework. No, it doesn't get better because that's about to go off the rails. Because we have allowed women like you to just tell these woe is me stories. Here we go again. A woman almost 40 years old, baby mama number fucking 5, sitting up here talking about, she don't know where her dad is. The man told you he didn't want to have a baby. Then you make a man a father again. And here we go with this dysfunctional ass cycle. And we wonder why our community is wrecking. Exhibit A, the modern woman. I don't know where he is. Don't want to be around because he didn't want to have the kid in the first place. Fine. So why make the man a child? Why make the man a father? Go read the book Promises I Can Keep. Why poor women choose motherhood over marriage. I said it 2 days ago. It needs to be rewritten. Why modern women choose motherhood over marriage. She kept the baby because she knows she can't have a relationship with anybody. So at least she can have a child so she won't be alone. That has become the norm. You're smiling? Exhibit A. We see this all the time. Women getting pregnant in their 30s. That's what these women are. So when my critics and detractors come and tell us that we should wife up and marry these women, here it is. Marry this, wife this. Well, they don't think a man's worth anything anyway. They didn't use one man for his DNA, and you pick one who was loose with it. And then gonna say, well, I didn't know. You didn't do your homework. You let a man you didn't know shoot the club up raw. If you want to have a conversation, but we're not going to do this knocking on accountability shit. I have one thing to say before you, ma'am, I don't care what you think about this man. That's her father, whether he wants to be there or not. Do you know your dad?
My father passed away when I was 19, and no, he wasn't in my life in that way.
When you asked your mother about your father, what did she tell you?
I mean, throughout my life, my mom never spoke a bad word about my father.
And you never asked where your dad was?
No, I know where he was. And he would, like for my birthday, he would send me gifts. He lived in a different state. And he would call and, I grew up in the 80s, so.
So you don't feel like there was anything missing by not having a father around?
I mean, growing up, I think the focus was on surviving.
Do you not feel like there was anything missing by not having a father around, surviving or not? See, one thing we've done in the black community is we've said if a man don't have money, he ain't worth nothing. I reject that.
My father.
Ma'am, I ask you, do you feel like there was anything with just money? I ask you, do you feel like there was anything missing by not having a father around, not knowing who the other half of you is? Half of you don't know.
Yeah.
And that's a problem, ma'am. That's why that's part of the reason you don't understand the value of men, because half of who you are, you don't have any knowledge of. And your mother doesn't sound like she did anything to facilitate that knowledge. And what are you doing? You're doing the same thing. Half of your child This is a very sad way to live because this happens in our community. 80% of our children are born out of wedlock. Is the Black community better off today or back in 1940, Jim Crow segregation?
Is that a rhetorical question?
No, I'm asking you a question.
No,
Is the Black community better off today or back in 1940, Jim Crow and segregation?
The obvious answer is, during Jim Crow and segregation.
Why?
Well, because we had our own communities and we had our own businesses and our men were in the households
and we weren't as educated. We didn't have the disposable income, but we had families. And we understood that having rice and beans and a man and a woman and kids was better than eating sushi with a mama and her daughter. All I'm saying, ma'am, is you picked the man that you laid down with. You picked the man that you chose to have a child with. You knew when he said he didn't want to have a child, you decided to go through with the pregnancy. And I'm going to say it, you forced fatherhood onto a man because he couldn't force you to keep it if you wanted to terminate. Well,
yeah, and then I left him alone. I didn't bother him.
But see, the problem is, ma'am, and I'm gonna tell you if nobody else tells you. Unfortunately, when you decide to make that child, it stopped being about you. It's about her. That's her father. That's your ex-man. Your shit with him has nothing to do with her. You need therapy and you need that child to have some sort of relationship with her father because there's something in you, ma'am, that you got to admit is missing.
I'm already in therapy. I've been in therapy for years.
Good. And all I'm saying is that good, but your daughter is all I'm saying is we got to get to the point to where women can separate what they had with their men that's your ex-man. That's her daddy.
No, well, that's the thing. I was trying to explain, Kevin. I only knew him for a month before I ended up pregnant.
Holy shit.
Yeah, you wouldn't let me talk. So, when I was dating him, when I got pregnant, I didn't know him. So when he said he wanted me to terminate, I said, well, I understand. We don't know each other. We just met. And he went his way and I went mine. And then 3 months into the pregnancy, he kept calling me. And he came back into my life. I was still pregnant. And he actually was the one that did her nursery. He painted it. He put furniture together. And then we were together up until she was 2 months. And then when I broke things off with him, he left. And then I never heard from him again. And I reached out to him and he blocked me. He blocked me on his phone. He blocked me on WhatsApp. He blocked me on Facebook. So now I stopped trying.
College education, yeah, ma'am. I don't know if you thought that was going to make it better, but it just made it exponentially worse. And no, ma'am. I'll let you speak. I'll let you speak.
Yeah, I just wanted to tell you.
I'll let you. Please don't overtalk me. I'll let you go and get it all out. Mm-hmm. A mid-30-year-old college-educated professional woman decides to make a baby with the mother sucker you only know for less than a month. How many times, ladies and gentlemen, have I told you, often today's modern single mother is pregnant longer than she knew the goddamn father. Mm-hmm. And then all this chaos while you're pregnant is on you. You chose to maintain this pregnancy. Mm-hmm. doing the nursery or not doing the nursery is irrelevant. Of course, you didn't know how many kids he had. Did you even do an STD panel or background on him?
Oh, yes. Well, that's part of my medical.
Oh, okay. So you checked to make sure he didn't have any diseases, but you didn't check to see if he had any kids. What the French toast?
Well, he told me he had one.
Okay, yeah.
He told me he had one.
One, but he had 4.
He had 4, yes.
To my critics and detractors, this is who you're asking single men to go marry. That's what y'all need to understand. This is the market. Women who are this reckless, this dismissive. This is who you're telling men to go marry. And if they don't marry these women, they're a bunch of betas and punks and bitches and cowards. No, it is intelligent for men to avoid these situations. This has been one of the most sad calls I've ever had in my life.
Oh, wow. Well, the other thing is, I mean, being a single mom, I know you said you have to prove that you're not a liability.
Oh, you're a liability like a mother.
Now, how am I a liability? My daughter's not a liability. She's very well taken care of.
Ma'am, I've talked to you for the better part of an hour, and your mindset is a liability. I don't care about your education or your resources. I care about your mental state. You are a liability.
Okay, in terms of...
Man, you had a baby. You had a baby by a man that you didn't know. And you're a medical professional.
Yeah.
That's enough right there. The man asked you to terminate because he did not want to be a father. He did not come to you to say, hey, I'm looking to have another kid. You guys were having casual sex. And when he said, I don't want this, you said, I'm going to have the baby. Why?
Well, I was 36. And as you know,
promises I can keep. Why single women choose pregnancy and motherhood over marriage. Because this was her last chance to have a baby and was more about her than a kid. My critics and detractors may not like my methods, but it stands the test of time. You made a selfish choice.
I did. I'm fully aware of that.
So being a parent is selfish?
No, bringing her into this situation was selfish.
So you made a selfish choice.
Yes. Yeah.
Should we continue to go on?
If you want
had
to.
unprotected sex. No, you had unprotected sex with a man you knew less than a month or so. You got pregnant by the dude. He asked you to terminate, and you said, "To hell with that. Just my last chance to have a baby, so I'm going to do this." Mm-hmm. You even know his people?
Oh yes, her.
No. Back up. You couldn't know his people. You couldn't know who impregnated you.
I know them now, but I didn't know.
Yes, but you couldn't know then. So you didn't care whose seed you were carrying.
No, I did not. In
That's
my mind, That's your in my mind, I'm pregnant, and I have to go through with it.
You don't have to do anything. In your mind, you're pregnant, and this is the last chance I'm going to have. And I know I'm not going to get married because I can't keep a man longer than a year. If I don't have this baby, I will die childless and unmarried. So I might as well have the baby. That's the truth. Don't try to pretty this shit up. I'm too good at this. I'm not going to let you slide and slither and deflect. I'm going to make you own this shit because it is men who get tarred and peppered with the bullshit that y'all put out here. You make it sound like men are the delinquent ones. Men are out here making babies. Men are the serial impregnators. When you, as an intelligent medical professional with all the facts figured, you didn't even use plan B. Man, you just didn't care. You said this was going to be my chance to have a baby and I might as well do it. At least I'll have this because I can't get that. That's selfish. That's why I say I care about your mental state. Because when you say a single mother has to do more, man, I'm glad you're in therapy. I hope you really stay and do the work. And one of the real telltale signs, if you separate what you had and chose and what your daughter has, that's her father, regardless as to who he is or the caliber. You picked him. Crackhead, alcoholic, nuclear scientist. Doesn't matter. That's what you picked. That's still her daddy.
Right.
And you,
I have
ma'am,
no issue with that.
and you, ma'am, you're going to have to facilitate the relationship because you picked a man who was a runner. That's your job. You're going to have to do it for you. No, ma'am. All right. Okay. I'm going to say it. You can listen or not. I'm going to still say it. I don't care if he doesn't. He already told you to terminate. Do it for your daughter. Check your ego. Forget what he wants. Well, I'm going to still keep you in contact with your daughter because your daughter's going to want to know where her daddy is. The internet's too vast. Kids tend to go looking for their fathers. This is what you picked.
Kevin, he blocked me.
You know his first name, last name is on the birth certificate?
No.
So he's not on any kind of support order either.
No. I wouldn't do that.
I'm not a fan of state-sponsored child support.
Yeah,
but still, it's your daughter, man. Still, it's your daughter, man. Still, it's your daughter, man. What are you going to do when your daughter wants to know about her father?
Well, that was you were asking if whether or not I know his people. So yes, I am. His father is very active in her life. As a matter of fact, he just put up her backyard swing set that I bought her for her birthday.
I'm going to go back to something. You said he blocked you.
Yes.
Why? A man doesn't typically go from casual sex to pregnant to terminate to I'm going to paint the crib and do this to that to just block.
I broke up with him. I didn't think that he wouldn't want anything to do with the child because when he was around, he held her and fed her. And
why did he block you?
I don't know.
One day he was holding her and feeding her, then he blocked you.
No. Like I said, I see what led to the breakup. We had an argument. And,
about what?
I'm sorry, say that again.
About what?
He felt that I disrespected him. This sounds bad.
Uh-huh. And he felt that you disrespected him in person or on the phone?
On the phone.
Uh-huh. And he blocked you where?
He blocked me from his phone.
Okay.
Then I contacted him on WhatsApp.
Hold on. He blocked you. How do you know he blocked you?
Oh, because it goes straight to voicemail.
Okay. So you also have his information on WhatsApp?
Right. And then.
And what about any social media of any sort? What about social media?
And he blocked me on Facebook as well. And WhatsApp.
So the way you're telling the story is a man who you had a relationship with felt like you disrespected him in one conversation, then he just completely blocks you and everything.
Yes.
Mm.
And I could show you the text messages.
How long ago was this?
Well, she's 2 now, and he left when she was 2 months old.
What do you mean he left?
Like, once we had the argument and I told him, hey, this isn't going to work out between us, but, you can still see.
What was the argument about? What was the argument about?
Like I said, he felt that I disrespected him. I corrected him on his use of a word. He was using it incorrectly. And he's like, no, that's what the word means. And I said to him, well, I could send you the definition. And then he blew up on me.
What word was it?
Rebuttal.
So you guys were having a conversation. How'd the word rebuttal come up?
Because I said to him, why everything I say, you have a rebuttal for. Because he kept anything I would say, he had to say the opposite.
Okay.
You know, and he told me, no, that's not what rebuttal means. And I said, yeah, I could send you the definition. And then it went downhill from there. He started cursing and carrying on. And I'm not a cursor, or, you know, I don't use profane language.
Up until that point, you guys just had perfectly reasonable conversations.
Yes. Believe it or not. That was like our very first blow up.
So everything was fine. I met the guy. We had casual sex. We didn't have a condom one night. I didn't take Plan B the next night. I told him I'm pregnant. He says, terminate. I say, no. He says, I don't want the baby. I said, I'm keeping it. Then he does what most men do, have to deal with the fact that they're going to be forced to be a father and try to find a way to deal with it and accept it. Came around, tried to see how he was going to make this work, even though he knew he didn't want that, because that's not why he contacted you. Then he came and painted the crib and everything else and tried to see how he was going to make a parenting situation work on a booty call, which you knew you were a booty call. That's what he was for you.
Yeah, I was a jump off.
Which is fine. And y'all did all that, and you had back and forth conversations, and through your pregnancy, everything was fine. Never had an argument. Then month one, holding her, feeding her, no problem. Week 6, no problem. Then week 8, you having an argument about something, and you say it's hot outside. He say it's cold. You say it's wet. You say it's dry. You say it's up. You say it's down. He said, you know what? Every time I have something to say, you got a rebuttal for it. And he said, oh, no, it's not a rebuttal. It's a counter. Well, no, it's a rebuttal. No, it's a counter. It's a rebuttal. Well, you're using the word wrong. It's not a counter. It's a rebuttal. No, it's a rebuttal. It's a counter. Well, I could send you the definition if you like. Then he cussed you up one side, down another, called you everything but a child of God. Then he just took the phone and blocked you. Then went to WhatsApp, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, blocked you on all that, and just went all over the word rebuttal.
Well, it wasn't about the word rebuttal. It was the fact that he felt disrespected by me.
Right. I know it wasn't over the word rebuttal. It's never over. It's never as simple as you're trying to make it sound. That's why I ran down the story as you told it, and it sounds kind of crazy.
No, I mean, he has a big ego. And I, you know.
How long you been in therapy?
15 years. Hello? Hello? Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
When was the last time you saw your therapist?
I see him weekly.
15 years. Is there a clinical diagnosis?
Yeah.
Are you on medication of any sort?
Yes.
For psychiatric issues?
For depression and anxiety.
Okay.
But that didn't start until I went through this whole situation. Prior to that,
Have you been seeing the same therapist for 15 years?
No. I would say for the last 7 years.
Therapy can become an addiction and a crutch. There's no real reason to be, unless you have a persistent condition. I'm just.
Yeah, I just want to be clear. When I started my medications for depression and anxiety, I was postpartum. I was still breastfeeding. I was in the medical field, and the pandemic hit. And There was a lot going on. So it had, there was a lot.
My ultimate point, ma'am, is still, at the end of the day, I'm going to stay out of the clinical stuff. But at the end of the day, ma'am, right, wrong, or indifferent, this is what you've chosen. And it's hard to believe that a conversation where you disrespected somebody one time leads to a nuclear termination of everything. And even if it did, are you saying you don't have any idea where this man is? If he's alive or dead, you have no idea.
Well, because his father is in my child's life, I know that he is still alive.
Okay.
I do know that he's still alive through his father.
Okay. Ma'am. Sad as it's going to sound, it's still his daughter. So you could still facilitate a relationship with the father through his father, just not through you.
Well, he stopped talking to his father when his father accepted my daughter. Okay. So his father also has not heard from him since my daughter was 6 months old.
All right. Well, if you pick, this is who you pick. Unfortunately, get some therapy lined up for her too. Because unfortunately, I'll just take it. Sure. I'll accept it all. He's a bad person. He must have some mean dick, but he's a bad person. You picked him. And if mama been in therapy 15 years, don't sound like you might be the most stable on that side either. So I'm just a little bit concerned with the DNA genetic mix of these two people in a child that was born of this type of relationship.
Wow, Kev.
Excuse me? What'd you say? Wow, who?
Wow, Kev.
I'm not Kev. No, my name is Kevin. Ma'am, what is wrong with what I said? You've been in therapy for 15 years.
No,
True.
I've been in, I thought
you've been in counseling for 15 years is what you said.
7 years.
I heard 15. That's why I walked away. No, ma'am. No.
I misheard you. Sorry.
7, 15, whatever. You chose the father. You chose a man who you described as sounding as he's unstable as well. Ma'am, there are some things missing in you because you chose that. And if that's who you are, I have valid reason to say I have a concern for this child if you are the mother and he is the father. And as a medical professional, that should not insult you.
Absolutely, it's going to insult me.
Then get fucking insulted. Because you sound absolutely crazy to me. It's about time somebody said it.
Yeah, we'll have to agree to disagree on that.
I don't care if a crazy woman disagree with me.
Well, I'm not.
Yeah, of course you're not. Of course not. Of course not. Of course you're not crazy. Of course you're not crazy. Let's go there. Of course you're not crazy. You made a baby with a motherfucker you only knew for a month. That's right. You were sane as all get out and go. While you were been in therapy for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 15 years. And you ain't had a relationship with a man for longer than a year. Your mama don't have no relationships. You grew up with some people who didn't value men. You sound sane. Hella sane. And to my critics and detractors, this is far more what's out there than you want to admit. And they don't think nothing wrong with them. Y'all don't think nothing wrong with them. Gentlemen.
Fuck this shit, I'm out. Fuck this shit, I'm out.
Out to your mother sucking mind. Think about this shit. This woman actually thinks it's kind of funny.
And guys, that brings us to the end of today's video. Thanks for watching. More respect on the legend, Kevin Samuels. He was fantastic with his questions and demanding answers from these women, right? The way he handled this type of conversation was just top notch. I don't know how he did it, but somehow, somewhere, he's always able to press these women into answering uncomfortable questions that they would have preferred not to answer. So I think he was good at what he did. And if you are not watching his content, one thing I can promise you is you do yourself a very big disservice, because there is so much knowledge, wisdom, and information in his videos. Regardless of whether or not you love him or you hate him, you best believe that if you are watching his content, there is something that you always going to take away from his content. So especially to those of you who hate him and you still come on to watch his his videos, I think it's a proof of why I can always talk about people that hate him can also still get something from his videos. Because if you hate him that much and you come across his video, why not stop watching? But we still have people that come to watch, still write hateful comments towards him, and day in, day out, I see their comments, sometimes get them blocked, but when I kind of see someone understanding that, okay, this person just need a chance or time to kind of understand the kind of content that he does, then I just give them the chance to, they can make their first, second hateful comment, but the third one, I'm gonna make sure you blocked, because this man deserves nothing but praises. Now, talking about this lady in this video, like I said, whether you love him or you hate him, I think one thing he does better is hold both men and women accountable for whatever behaviors that they will put across, right? And here in this video right here, let's be honest, for the women that will come after him in the comment section, are you going to tell me that you'll be proud of your own daughter getting pregnant and making baby with a guy that she don't know at all? Like, ask yourself this honest question and answer it honestly. Are you going to tell me that you're gonna be proud that your own daughter, right, you raised, to go and get pregnant for a guy that she don't know? The answer is no, more than likely, right? I know that we have few wretched ones that will be okay, like regardless of the situation, regardless of the condition. They don't have, I mean, those people are kind of like, they don't know shame. They know no shame. So for them, they kind of, it has happened. So no shame, nothing. We good. Let's keep moving from there. But normal human being that has respect for humanity, right? Have respect for his or her ethnicity, I think you'll be much concerned about whether or not your daughter will make baby with someone that she don't know at all. I think you feel some kind of way around something like that. But the reason why these women end up in this position and do what they tend to do, like these type of things, is just the simple fact that they will sell lies. Disney has done great job into selling these women dream of just working hard, right? Work hard, make your money, and you wouldn't need a man. That's what Disney and all these daytime televisions has done to not just women in general. I would say black women, because oftentimes it's always black women that kind of fall into these traps and they end up in the positions that they typically end up in, and trying to make sense out of it, making babies with dudes that they barely know. And at some point, this guy came into your life back and tried to work something out, right? And you had an argument with this dude, and you happen to break up the relationship with this guy, right? I think when they are young, they don't really understand the need for human connections. These women don't mostly understand the importance of human connections. But when they're hitting 38, 40s, 45, 50s, they kind of really understand it, because of the simple fact that the sexual attentions that men tend to give them, whether or not they want it or not, at that age, they don't tend to get those things again, even if they want those attentions. That's just the hardcore truth. Women, whether they say they like, male sexual attention or not, they always enjoy those things, and it will always come regardless of whether they say they want it or not. But when you hit a certain age, 38, 40s, it starts to drop from 30. It starts to drop dramatically from 30 years, 35 dropping, 38, almost gone, 40, maybe 20% remaining. 45, you have like 10% or something like that. So that is when they start to understand the importance of human connections. And when they are young, they don't tend to see that, okay, there will be a time that maybe they'll crave for these things, and they didn't really experience of not having those type of things, because when they even say crappy things about men, men will still chase after them as they are young. But when they get older and they cannot get that attention, and they realize that, okay, it is good to have human connection, there is nothing left for them, and now they'll be chasing men to just get some sperm to make baby with. And whether or not you stay in the kid's life or not, they don't give a fuck. As long as they've gotten something that probably will serve them another 20 years of human connection, that is, she'll be around 60 and the child will be 20 years, whatever the case is. I think they kind of say, I'll be content with that. Instead of working on becoming a better person, right? And dealing with a man, having a man by your side to deal with on a daily basis, they will end up doing this woman's situation, and they will not feel ashamed to come on these live broadcasts to say these things. I mean, if this, imagine, let's just put it this way, right? Imagine this case happened to grow up and happen to come across this video, seeing her own mom speaking of how she made her this way. How would that kid feel? Right? I think that is what we are always putting into perspective. These behaviors that we always complain of women, and we have women that comes after us in the comments and kind of say a whole lot of bullshit to us because they don't like the kind of message that we spread. Have you ever think of it this way, that what if these ratchet behaviors that we, kind of put online, what happens if our kids come across it? Like this lady situation, for instance. Imagine you are a kid and you come across your mom speaking about you. You are the only daughter, you are the only son, and you realize that she's speaking about her own kid. Psychologically, you know that she's referring to you. How you will feel? You lose all your, human self-esteem. You lose it all. I mean, let's keep it all stacked. You feel a certain way. Let's be honest. No matter how stoic you are as a man, there is going to be some form of feeling reaction and burning down deep down you. So it's not a good thing. And I don't think women should allow themselves to get to this age to act in this desperate way. I think desperation always causes desperate acts, and this is just one of them. And they are not even humble enough that the man said he feels disrespected, and they don't feel humble enough, or they don't want to be humble enough to just, okay, you feel disrespected. I'm sorry for making you feel disrespected. And things would have been better from there. She went all out into breaking the relationship and thinking that probably this guy will want to just stick around. And like it or not, this is some trick that women tend to use. They will trick you with, oh, let's break up, right? When you kind of beg to stay in the relationship with you, they kind of have leverage over you. They understand your position. They understand that you are deeply in love with them, and they'll keep on manipulating you. So when a lady break up with you, I think the best thing is to do is to just keep it moving. Do not beg to stay in or ask why, blah, blah, blah. Try to let her explain. No, keep it moving. I think this lady deep down did not mean the breakup. She was just acting to understand the man, where the man has belongs, whether the man is really deeply in love with her or not. Probably that was the case. I'm just saying. Guys, that brings us to the end of today's video. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the content, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned, stay focused, and until we meet in the next one, I'm out and peace.